Hard Knock TV, Face Mob in the building.
And if I cried 2 tears for her, that would be the most that I would give to her. She left me stranded in my nightmares, taking pictures of my memories, she right there. Twisting on the blade in my heart deep, always on my mind so I can't sleep. She used to tell me she was all mine. Now the only way I see the broad is online.
How do you approach writing a song? When I listen to a lot of your music, I can visualize it like it's a scene in a movie. I feel like from the first couple words, you just set the tone. What's your approach as far as like, what's your mindset going into writing a song?
That's actually one of the better questions that I've heard. Like for real, that's a good one. I think the most important part of the song is the come line. And those are the first 3 or 4 words that you say upon opening the verse. That's a very good question, because that has the most meaning to me. What's said, the first couple of lines, what sets the tone of that particular record? That's a great question, man, actually. I appreciate that one. That was really, really good. Yeah, I take a lot of pride in those first 4 or 5 lines that you hear, man, you know. They gotta be memorable, you know what I'm saying? Even when you think about the Nas record I did, the hip hop record, you know. And if I cried 2 tears for, like, you know, or the Wale record I just did, you know. Anyway, those are very important lines to me, right? For real.
You listen to the beat and then kind of have an idea of like, this is the picture I want to paint. Or do you go in like you have in mind, like this is a story I want to tell?
The beat's gonna guide me. You know, I sit back and I vibe that beat, and then, you know, the beat's gonna ride me through. You know what I mean? It's gonna be you know, the spirit gonna lead me to wherever wherever the beat needs to be, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I approach records like really, really differently, like a lot differently than a lot of people. You know, I let the beat ride. I just can't sit up and just write no rap. You know what I mean? I might jot down words or whatever, like words that sound good, but, you know, the whole rap, you know, the vibe or whatever comes from being there with that beat. Because, you know, I don't want to be a monotone. You know, everybody sound the same on every record, got the same flow, you know, the same delivery, yeah. Yeah.
The Lord, he had a plan for me. And with his help, my mother made a man of me. Didn't blindfold me to the world we was living in. Taught me how to save my little dividends, so when I graduated, I'd have a little school money. But in the 6th grade, I wanted to be the school dummy, and flunked out of school with a flag coat, and left my mother dear at home with a sad soul.
Now, one thing I admire about your songwriting is that you're not afraid to show your vulnerability.
I grew up around musicians and writers, and I was always taught to write your heart, write your life. If you're not crying when the song's done, you ain't wrote the right record. You know what I mean? Like, you have to write your heart, and whoever is offended by it, fuck them. You know.
Now, I don't know if it's true, but I read something that you're very self-critical of your own rhymes, and you even have a hard time listening to your own stuff.
I never listen to me.
Yeah.
No. I never listen to my own shit, ever. And I don't even know. I don't really like my stuff. I feel like I put so much into it to do it that when it's finally over, I don't ever want to hear it no more. You know, music is the only thing that you can create, and once it's over, you can never touch it again. You know what I mean? That makes sense? Like, you can ding, 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 and make it all. Once it's gone, it's out of there. And that's the way I look at it. That's probably why I got so many freaking songs, man. Because once I'm done with that shit, I'm done with it. You can have it from there, you know? It's like when I'm writing music or making beats and marrying it too, you know, it's like I'm in love with her. And then when I finally get it, I'm like, fuck you, get out. That's how I feel about it, seriously.
A lot of your earlier stuff, you dealt with depression, you dealt with paranoia. I feel like at some point it shifted a little bit. Was there like a moment of like a clarity or a moment of truth or something where like you started to value life or value like your place in life? Or I feel like at some point there was kind of a little bit of a shift.
I think it changed when my son Brad Jr. was born, because I actually saw the struggle, you know, to be born, to get here. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching, you know, what Rhonda had to go through for Brad to be born. You know what I mean? From the beginning stages to the end. And that really changed. Like in 1998 is when I really started looking at life like, damn, like this is heavy. You know, I actually saw it, you know, go from liquid to bones to flesh and blood, you know what I mean? Like, and be my boy. So that's when it kind of changed for me in 1998. I was like, shit, at least let me stick around to see him have some kids or whatever.
At night I can't sleep, I toss and turn. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Four walls closing in, getting bigger. I'm paranoid, sleeping with my finger on the trigger. My mother's always stressing I ain't living right, but I ain't going out without a fight.
Rick Rubin.
Got a lot of respect for Rick and what he did, what he's doing. You know what I mean? And what he means to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I could have just been reading it wrong. You know, and maybe somebody said that shit just trying to be funny or some shit. And you know what I mean? But somebody said that Rick Rubin didn't like my shit. But every time I see Rick Rubin, it's like we all cool and shit. So I'm assuming that he might have did like my shit. And then again, maybe not. You know, I love his shit. I love Rick Rubin. And like I said, I love what he did for hip hop. Like Rick Rubin was a part of the program in the early parts of it. You know, he had like rock and roll type beats. Beastie Boys. Yeah, like he should really make another hip hop. Yeah, he should really do that. Another hip hop Beastie Boys type group. Yeah, I would like to maybe hit. You know what? If Rick Rubin would produce another Geto Boys album, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Rick Rubin produced a Geto Boys album, not a song, a fucking album, I'd do it.
Shit, I hope Rick Rubin's watching.
Otherwise, I ain't doing it.
Mind playing tricks on me.
My mind playing tricks on me.
Was that supposed to be for your solo stuff when you first wrote it?
My solo, yeah. Now all the three verses, my two verses and Bill's third verse, that was it. That was the song. Yeah, I don't know what happened from there. You know, but it was good though. It was good. The whole concept was good. You know, would the song have been as big without the group on it? You know, that remains to be seen. You know, but the group was on the shit, so it was just dope and it worked.
What inspired that? What inspired the paranoia?
Man, my grandmother came up with the title. I just stole the title from my grandma. Paranoia, a lot of weed smoking, like getting super high, like really getting high, like mushrooms and downers and shit, all kinds of shit. Inspired, you know, paranoia. You know, it's a brain, it's a part of your brain that you can tap into that will scare you if you tap into it. Like, I'm so glad to be out of that shit. I don't ever want to go back in there. You know what I mean? Like, I was in a part of my brain that was like almost spooky, man. Like dark, like gothic. Like, nigga, paint your fucking nails black and, you know, cut your eyebrows off and fucking paint your under here black. You know what I mean? Like, I was in a real fucked up state, man. Like a real fucked up state of mind, man. To the point where I just wanted to die. That's my jam right there.
Well, let's use that jam to transition.
Nah, go ahead.
Current state of hip hop.